One, two. They losing their mind, chat. What's good? Are we live? Can you guys hear me? They losing their mind. Let me know. Let me know if we got power, if it's working. Let me know if it's working, but they losing their mind, gang. I think we live. I think we live. I think we got Bush, like they said back in the day on what's that? The Revenge of the Nerds, right? We got Bush. We got Bush, gang. We ready to go. Salute. SZA in the building. OGT Bella in the building. I see you. Bing in the building. I see you. Terrence Porter in the building. Pay that lady her money, Terrence said. Diego Ramirez in the building. Sorry for the emergency live. I had to do it. Kamisha, did I say that right? Kamisha Smith, salute. Kamisha, appreciate you. Jack Dance, Plenty Hardaway, Zero Burn, Lazy Cloud 9. Let me see. Omniodo. Let me make sure I'm saying that right. Let me know what's good. We're gonna have a good one tonight because what's going on? Queen B in the building. I got Fame TV in the building. It's a last minute live gang. I know I've been hitting y'all with these last minute lives, unplanned, unrehearsed, right? Just going in. But I saw this today, right? Diego, one of them emergency meetings, another one. We got to do it today. I don't know what's like. I don't know what's going on. Rap is in danger, gang. Carmi in the building. Listen, rap is in danger. Hip hop is in a strange place. We used to know things, gang. We used to know things, right? In the 90s, we just knew things. We just knew things about hip hop. They just made sense, right? They just made sense. We just understood. Things were just understood. I don't know what's going on, but Jay Electronica is slowly turning into that old man that you don't let the kids go to his house unattended because he's crazy. I'm just gonna be honest. You're gonna say, Charles, why he's crazy? And the game is always looking for something to get into. All right. Whatever's popping in the culture, he gonna find a way to duck his head in and get involved, right? Remember that old James Brown song, Get Into It. I believe that's James Brown. Get involved. I'm not sure, but a million people sampled it. And Bo in the building. I think it's Bo Tia. Let me know if I'm saying it right. We are in a sunken place, right? What's going on? Gang, we used to we didn't have access to these rappers. Maybe that was it. Maybe we didn't have access to these rappers. And we didn't need to know. And rappers knew better than to say some of the nonsense they're saying, but they're ganging up, gang. And I just want to have this conversation because what I'm unfortunately seeing is I'm going to say there used to be a common denominator in hip hop for the most part. I'm not going to say everybody agreed on everything, no. But there was a consensus, 80-20, right? Like it just was a consensus that okay, this is what it actually is. Now we're in a fuzzy gray area where everything is debatable. Everything that we see, let me see what we got going on. Queen Pretty, Pretty Mimi in the building. Everything that we see, right, is questionable now. Everything we see now can be questioned. Back in the day, there were certain artists. Okay, we're going to do this, right? There were certain artists that we just looked at, and hip hop kind of was like, "Oh, that's interesting. That's cute." Right? But you didn't go out your way like going crazy running to the mall to get them, right? But sometimes we accepted them in anyway. Like, come on in, right? Come on in, Skilo. I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. Come on in, fam. We're gonna give you that. We're gonna give you your 15 minutes. Get in here. We like that record. I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a girl who looked good. I would call her. Right? Remember that guy? Okay. We used to we kind of we accepted the song, we accepted Skilo, but we wasn't putting them on our top 20 list, right? And you couldn't walk into a room and debate nobody about that, right? Remember, what was his name? Diamond. Oh, here we go, here we go, here we go. Remember that guy? Good record. Good record. But in the hip hop culture, it was like, okay, we understood, okay, it's a good record. Skilo, Diamond, they got a good record. I could go on and on with mad good records. Good ass records back in the day. Right? We got a bunch of them. Very memorable. You put them on at a 90s party, the party gonna be lit. Right? What was that homeboy? It was a Spanish dude had a song. I can't remember his name, but it was a singing song. Everybody knows this song. He got one record. Everybody knows this song. Spanish cat out of the West Coast. And he's kind of singing on it. Y'all gotta help me with this song. Everybody knows this song. Really cool record, but didn't stick around, right? But it's you put it on at a party, right? It's cool. We're not gonna beat up the DJ. But we understood that those guys are they're not here for a long time, but a good time, right? We just understood hip hop. It just felt away. It felt away. Some things that we didn't challenge. In 2026, you can challenge anything, right? In Too Deep, is that it? Rico Suave, Ricky. No, it's a rapper. It's a rapper. Mellow Mayonnaise, that's one of the guys I'm talking about. Mentirosa, right? Is that what he had? And then Rico Suave, Rico Suave. We had a whole bunch of stuff going on. And for a time, it was good. And we understood, okay, that's cool. But when we start writing the Hip Hop Hall of Fame, you know, certain stuff not gonna make it. It's gonna be good and make it an honorable mention way in the back, right by the bathroom. It might say, "Yo, listen," and honorable mention might have Skilo and Domino, right? But end of the day, we wasn't going to argue you down about stuff like that because hip hop had a certain plateau, it had a level that we started to rate things at. Now you can debate anything. We're at a point where a guy can sit there and debate that the summer of 2025 and right now, all the way to right now, all of that is ruined because Drake ain't outside. We can debate that. Somebody's debating that right now on my Twitter. That's the debate. I'm here because Game said some wild shit. And your homeboy Jay Electronica said some even wilder shit. So what I'm going to do, right? And let me know, we're not having no lag, hopefully, right? But I want to have this conversation because what I'm seeing right here, these two guys right now, one of them is kind of trolling. Let's just be honest. One of them is kind of trolling. And one of them is dead ass serious. But to me, they both bugging. Because what's happening is the Game has already shown he's already shown you that he's loyal to Drake. We get it. Right? We get it. He's loyal to Drake. He won't ever turn his back on him because Drake allegedly came to I believe he came to Compton, did a video with him, right? I'm just getting this thing out, this article. He did a video for him. He did a song allegedly for free, right? And for some reason, that set well with Game and his back on him, right? So I want to get into this. What we're seeing is the Game has come out and said that pretty much, right? Let me read this real quick so we can be on the same page. The game is suffering because Drake is silent and absent. That's the very first thing we're talking about. And then we're gonna get to Jay Electronica saying free Diddy. He ain't do nothing but be freaky. Okay? Just to set the tone. we 10 minutes in? I'm just setting the tone of what we looking at right now. So in case you good working, hard working, honest people don't know what's going on. The game said hip hop is 50%. The art form is down 50% because Drake is silent and absent. Okay? I'm gonna catch y'all up because I know you guys are working and you got good jobs. You don't need to be fooling around on Twitter all day like my dumb ass, right? So I was on there and I saw two things that was like, what and what? Okay. So the game said, and basically they hitting us with the academics where you say, yo, stall them out. We're being punished, gang. This is how they're looking at it. We're getting punished, right? We're getting punished because of according to Game, he said, we didn't appreciate Drake. Therefore, we're getting punished. All of hip hop is down 50%. And we didn't appreciate the great. I'm not elaborating. I'm not exaggerating. We didn't appreciate one of the greatest rappers. This is Game. Now, Gang, you gotta understand. We know Game is a troll. Okay. No one's debating that. We understand. We know Game is a troll. So part of this is trolling. Let's keep it a buck. We get that. We understand. But at the same exact time, you do have to be accountable for what you say. And I think that he means this to a degree. I think he means this. I truly think that Game, he's not. Sometimes when you troll, most of the time when you trolling, you do mean it. Even though you know what you're saying is going to cause a reaction. Game wants a reaction, and we're going to give it to him. Because once he did that, I went on my Twitter, right? I went on my Twitter, as you do. And I told you, I missed the Drake fans. I missed the just our engagement. It's a warm, fuzzy feeling sometimes to see how mad they get and how easy you can trigger them, right? And how many bad names they can call you and this, that, and the third. I miss them. I told you the J. Cole fans, they get too damn smart, and you sit there going in circles with them. And the Jay-Z fans that's mad at me, they too damn sophisticated. I don't feel like talking to them all fucking day, right? With their shit bleeding shit in their hands and their ace of spades. I don't want to talk to them all damn day. All right. Give me a blunt force object like a Drake fan. We got time, right? And I haven't ran into a Game fan yet. I'm just gonna be honest. I've done at least 10, maybe 15 Game videos. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't ran into an angry Game fan yet. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm sure they're out there. Maybe they haven't heard of me yet, but I haven't had that problem. Okay. End of the day. So let's just start with Game and get on what he said, right? The thing about this is what's going on with the Game. And I'm going to read what he said because somehow Drake is not outside, and that is a punishment to us. Not that he lost a battle, right? Not that he lost a battle and is scared to come outside. No, that ain't it. The narrative down Game, gang, and I told you, we're getting confirmation that the thing I was telling you about the Zoom calls, they're very real. Because we get it that these narratives are being coordinated, but they're getting a little too coordinated. And even guys that have no reason, unless they're actually on a payroll themselves, they have no reason to jump in with these narratives. And now it's starting to be too easily. We got Isaac Hayes III. Now he's jumping in. Then we got Game jumping in. And it's just so many voices trying to spin this narrative that this guy is not outside. All right. So that's where we are right now, where we're being told that we're seeing a man who's decided to take his ball and go home, and 50% of the culture is suffering. We heard what's these guys? What's the name of these guys? Bag Fuel. We heard Jim Jones say the same thing. Conway the Machine. Quite a few of these people are saying that we're suffering now because it's our fault, because we decided to engage. And I'm going to read what hopefully I got what Isaac Hayes said, that triggered the game to say these things. But Isaac Hayes started this, and Game chimed in. Okay, so the crazy thing about it is we saw Jay-Z do it too. We're still blaming the battle. We're still here. We're still here. We are blaming the battle for hip hop not being as seriously taken as it used to be. Right now, let's start here. Let's start here. What I said in a video before. When I was talking to homeboy who was the Drake fan, he said one Drake fan versus 5 Drake haters, and he did a video, and I went and did a rebuttal video, and I challenged him, right? And I said I couldn't have been one of the 5 Drake haters in the video for the main reason is they let homeboy Jay control the narrative. And what Jay started the video out with, when he started his narrative about the Drake conversation, he started saying he's the biggest artist in the world and that he about how many streams he got. And I said, we got to establish what hip hop is before we start any debate. So when Isaac Hayes III and Game started to tell us hip hop, the art form is suffering, we got to start with, well, what do you mean when you say the art form? What do you mean when you say hip hop? Because when you start talking about Spotify numbers, conversation over. Okay? When you start talking about pop numbers, conversation over. That's not hip hop. So for all the people that's going to start the convo about, well, Drake is the #1 stream artist in the world, that's pop. Drake is a pop artist. We know this. No one is debating this. So the simple fact of the matter is I was on my Twitter today and I saw this, and I'm going to read you what I purposely did. I purposely trolled on purpose, right? I purposely trolled, right, today. And it worked. They came like flies, like a moth to a flame, like just like Janet Jackson said back in the day, like a moth to a flame, burned by the fire, right? So I went on full on troll because first things first, we gotta decide what hip hop even is. Hip hop is a culture. The way we interact in a culture that has everything to do with the music that's made, not the numbers, not all the units it can sell in the suburbs. It's not the third. It's the culture of the music that is. The music is a street music that's created by Black people in the streets. It is what it is. Now, other cultures have got into it, but from the start, I keep saying this, and I'm gonna say it to the end of time. It started in New York because the gangs in the Bronx were very violent. They needed an alternative to the violence. They created the hip hop movement to compete with each other in a positive way, in a constructive way. They were breakdancing and doing graffiti, competing that way in the inner city. Okay. The DJs got involved and the DJs were playing music. They needed someone to say the name of the DJ that was on the stage because the DJ couldn't say his own name. He's spinning records, right? So the DJ would hire or get someone to be the MC. The MC would stand up there and say, "Oh, this is DJ such and such, da 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 da." So after time went on, the MC started to say their own name and they started to make up rhymes and routines. At that point, the MC is now the forefront of it. Now those are what we call rappers. Okay, so the rappers ended up becoming the forefront of it. And to this day, the rappers, once they became the forefront, because they're in front, they're doing these rhymes, they're acting real cool, they became the forefront of hip hop. So with that being said, it looks like the rappers are the ones that control hip hop. No, it was a whole culture. Now, what happened was they can't monetize graffiti, they can't monetize DJing to a degree, and they can't monetize breakdancing, but they could sign these rappers. And as time went on, the rappers started getting more and more lucrative record deals. And what went on is the rappers started to become the most valuable commodities in all 4 pillars of hip hop. Okay, and the rappers went on to more fame and prominence as time went on. They became very, very vital to the bottom line of a lot of these corporations. Okay, so now they've brainwashed us to think that that's all that matters in hip hop is how many units a rapper is selling. Okay, That was never what hip hop was about. It never will be. So when we start the conversation, the game is saying hip hop is 50% down. In what regards? We're getting some of the best hip hop we've heard in many years, consecutively and consistently. So hip hop culture, the people that are competing in the streets so they won't be violent in hip hop, in graffiti, and yes, we still got graffiti, we still got breakdancing, and we still got DJing, and we still got rapping. So the rappers that had a rap battle in the spirit of hip hop can never be blamed for hip hop's demise. They were doing hip hop. Okay, so what they're trying to say is Kendrick made the game. You got to think too much now, and people want to hear you having complete thoughts and sentences, and they want to be able to understand your words instead of you mumbling it and doing a bunch of vibes. So they're saying that's what hurt the game. No, that was hip hop. It always has been. So hip hop shed its skin and got a lot of sucker shit off. A lot of that shit that was flying for 5 years, and these executives was eating a whole bunch of good ass oatmeal, right? Whole bunch of cinnamon sugar oatmeal. They sitting up in them offices eating good, right? Eggs Benedict at the desk and this, that, and the third, right? No onions, please. Like this, that, that. They eating really good in them offices. So they want to continue that. So now the narrative is hip hop is down 50% because it ain't on the billboard. Well, guess what's going to be on the billboard? Pop shit for the most part, right? Real hip hop used to dominate the charts, but then they found out the formula and they started making it where they can do it in a formulaic way where it would play well on the radio. So now we're measuring what formulaic BS can get played on the radio or could get mass produced by the labels to be looked at as that's hip hop, even though it ain't. Okay, so now Game is trying to tell us what Game makes is hip hop, right? And it's surreal to hear a guy who makes really pure hip hop for the most part side with a guy that really is a pop star. And we still got to have this argument. I'm gonna tell you how dense these guys are. I'm gonna read my Twitter posts that got them all in a bunch, right? Because when I saw the my mixtape post, right, says the Game says Drake's silence dropped hip hop by 50%, and honestly, the numbers don't lie. This is my mixtape Twitter page saying that. Now whoever runs that page is feeding into this, right? So let me read you what happened. What had happened, right? Matter of fact, let me read the article because it says everything, I believe. I'm gonna read the article and we're gonna have this conversation, okay? So now that I got all of that out the way, I told you everything that went down. The game, this, that, and the third. And hip hop is da da da. So I'm gonna read this article so we can all be on the same page and continue there. The Game says hip hop is suffering without Drake by Caroline Fisher for hotnewhiphop.com. The Game recently hopped online and shared this hot take on the lasting impact Drake and Kendrick Lamar's beef has had on hip hop. Everybody's trying to blame the beef. Had this guy won, it would be the greatest beef ever. He lost, so now all his compadres are out here taking shots at him, right? Meanwhile, he at Disneyland. I don't know if y'all saw the pictures. K-Dot was at Disneyland with his wife and with his girl and the kids, having a grand old time. Nigga had a Mickey Mouse bucket hat on. So he ain't really been tripping, and it's smart, right? He's not online, right? We just did the video yesterday of Big Sean, Logic, Hobson, who else? Who else? It was Big Sean, Logic, Hobson, and I'm drawing a blank. Who else we talked about yesterday? Saying that they were corny, right? And one of the reasons that they said that it was the Luesta reaction, and Luesta said they were all corny when you peel back the layers because they worry too much about what people say online. Kendrick is somewhere, he didn't even got his phone out, gang. He just enjoying time with his kids in Disneyland, gang. Salute to that man. So end of the day, we're looking at guys that's trying to say they're getting online and trying to blame this beef for everything that's wrong with hip hop. Let me continue. It's no secret that Drake and Kendrick Lamar's infamous battle had a lasting impact on hip hop as a whole. According to the Game, however, that's not necessarily a good thing. Recently, mind you, Game been trying to battle with everybody. Game just asks, do y'all remember that? Game is trying to actively battle Kendrick on the low, right? You do know this, right? La Russell was the other one. Salute the Big Red. La Russell was the other one, right? It was LaRussell, Big Sean, Hobson. I did a whole video yesterday. Go check that out. Joyner Lucas, Big Sean. And they try to talk about French Montana. I ain't really want to talk about him. It's boring. So, end of the day, everybody wants to blame this battle, but at the same time, they actively want to get in their own battle. Didn't Game jump in that battle and go at Rick Ross? Right? But now Game is here saying the battle. So let me finish reading this. According to Game, however, that's not necessarily a good thing. Recently, the Compton MC took to Instagram to claim that the genre has suffered as a result of the beef. Game is one of the biggest battle rappers. Game got a 10-minute diss for Eminem. How, Sway? How? Game got a 10-minute diss for Eminem, but he's up here trying to tell us that there was a problem with the battle. Let me continue. Okay, hold on. Recently, the Compton MC took to Instagram. He said, y'all ain't appreciate one of the greatest. Now the absence and silence is in the art form is down. He said, now the absence and silence has the art form down 50%. This is on Kirko's page, right? And the simple fact of the matter is, Game is feeding into a narrative that they're feeding people. Because they got to make this battle look bad. We just had J. Cole come out saying he ain't like how we did what we did to Drake. Jay-Z just said, I don't know if I love that, what you guys did to Drake. Everybody's pointing to this battle, and the people who come, we're the bad guys now, gang. We're all of a sudden, because we didn't agree with what went on, we're trolls, we're this, that, and the third, we're stans, we're K-bots, everything wrong. So it got to look like we're the problem, because we watched the battle, we enjoyed it, we engaged in it, and we said we thought that one person won, one person lost. That is now making us some type of bad guy, right? So let me continue, right? His post arrived alongside a screenshot of a recent tweet by Isaac Hayes III, who had a similar take. Quote, the Kendrick Drake beef killed commercial rap music, right? Like I said, define hip hop. His post starts out talking about commercial rap. That's not hip hop. Commercial rap is an offshoot of hip hop, but it don't define hip-hop. It don't matter if none of these albums are on the top 10. Mind you, we're going to get to that, because homeboy on my Twitter broke it down that I don't know why they keep saying nothing's on the Billboard. Baby Keem whole album was on Billboard. What's this guy, Rashad? The new guy that just dropped this shit. I'm trying to think of his name. His whole shit's on the Billboard. A$AP Rocky whole shit is on the Billboard. So it's like all of those, every time those albums drop, all the records make the Billboard. So I'm trying to figure out why it's not on the Billboard. But let's continue. He said that the Kendrick Drake beef killed commercial rap music. Now, how did it kill it, gang? Okay, how did it kill it? Because so what made it die? It had to be some. If it's dead, what killed it? Right. So let me finish reading what he said. Everyone showed up, debated, replayed, picked sides, ran the numbers up. Meanwhile, the Billboard Hot 100 kept moving. See, this guy right here, Isaac Hayes III, he's an industry guy who don't think of nothing but numbers. These are the guys we don't need in hip hop. He's not hip hop, because you're going to get up here and start talking about the Billboard Hot 100. It kept moving. Okay, we don't make hip hop for that. If you're a real hip hop head, that's not what it's for in the first place. So your whole post is invalid. We got some of the best hip hop in 2025 we've had in years. I keep telling you, I did a whole video, the top 25 albums of 2025, and they all was smacking. It was so many albums, I had to do honorable mentions. I put like 15 honorable mention names on there, because it was so many albums. Just gonna be honest. So I don't know what he's talking about. I have no idea what he's talking about. But let me continue, because homeboy's still talking, right? He said, let me see, where was it? He said, the Billboard Hot 100 kept moving. The beef fed the masses and killed the charts. So I see why labels are cutting back. Black folks would rather tear down artists from both sides when collaboration is what drives expansion. Here they go again. Jay-Z said the same thing. Instead of battling, we should collab. What if they don't like each other, Jay? Isaac, what if the beef is actually a real beef that's been brewing for 10 years? You still want to collab? A lot of these guys are scared to get on these records, especially when it's an issue. So what are they supposed to do, home? Like, first of all, I just told you at the beginning of the podcast, hip hop was built on competition. So now, because this one competition, it didn't go his way. Now we gotta let's stop the battles. Let's collab, guys. Let's be friends and hold hands. Right? And oddly enough, Game jumps into this, and he one of the ones actively pushing for battles to happen. Okay? But somehow, some way, we're the problem. Let me continue. Because wait, there's more, right? It goes on to say, news of Game's hot take arrives as fans continue to await the release of Drake's 9th studio album, Iceman. At the time of writing, the project still doesn't have an official release date, though it's expected to drop sometime this year. The hit maker has been teasing the LP for some time now. He's been teasing this thing since 2024. It's just a fact. The hit maker has been teasing the LP for some time now, and it will mark his first full-length solo release since 2023's For All the Dogs, right? The news also comes as Drake maintains his commercial dominance. He even broke his own impressive streaming record earlier this week. He reached a whopping 88.74 million monthly listeners on Spotify, right? More than any other rapper, right? His previous record was 88.71. So end of the day, what they're trying to say is Drake took his ball and went home, and you guys can't sell no records. First things first, there's a lot of people selling records. There's a lot of releases that did end up on that billboard. A lot of them, okay? Not to mention GNX was on there as well for a long time, and people wanted to hear that. They like to chalk it up to bots and numbers, But end of the day, a lot of people wanted to hear GNX. It broke a lot of records. Homeboy went on the world tour after that battle that you're trying to condemn. So this is where we are with this. The game really is trying to tell us, right? And I want to have this conversation that Drake just ain't outside. It's so many variables to this. Let me read it again so we can be clear of what he's trying to say. It's insanity to me. Y'all ain't appreciate one of the greatest. Now the absence and silence has the art form down 50%. Let's talk about this. We had the clips drop last year. Freddie Gibbs. We had a lot of good music last year. I think everybody in Griselda dropped last year. It was a really good year. Nas dropped last year, right? It was a very good year for hip hop. There was a lot of releases last year that I was like, I can't even keep up with so much good stuff coming out. But somehow Drake only dropped some Sexy Songs for You. And then he did a couple features, which all of this stuff counts, gang. I don't know why they want to make it not count, but it counts. It counts. And now I went on this post after reading that, and I trolled them, and they came like hummingbirds, right? They came flocking to the flower. And I said, the game says Drake was silent and absent, right? But I feel like he wasn't. Google. Was Drake silent in 2025? Right? The first answer I got, and it drove these people mad, gang. They're in my comments calling me everything but a child of God, telling me I'm being obtuse and everything else. But I didn't respond to none of them. Normally I don't. 99% of the time, no response because it hurts worse, right? So let me read what Google said. Google said in 2025, Drake notably appeared on at least 21 new tracks as part of his collaborative studio album, Some Sexy Songs for You, with Party Next Door, released in February 2025. Additionally, he released a feature on the song To Maza with Smiley in June of 2025 and had a high streaming song titled Nokia, which was certified multi-platinum, including a year with several major releases and high volume streaming, including 6 gold certified tracks from his joint project. All right. Now, what they did, I'm not done with that post, But what they did, they went in my comments and tried to say, dumbass, you can't read. Game said rap songs. Right? Now, when they're telling us he's the #1 rapper on earth, they're not specifying the kind of songs they're lumping in there to make him the #1. Most of it is pop stuff. 75% or better of Drake's music is pop music and dance music and things of that nature. But they don't specify then. But they come on my post and say, dumbass. Bullshit. Yo, the game said rap. You're being obtuse right now. Stupid. You're being willfully ignorant. You know what he meant, and you're just trolling it for engagement. Talk about Drake, you get you some views. Talk about Drake, you get you some. It's all day with these lunkheads, gang. And I'm sitting there like, oh, so I gotta specify what type of song it was. So Game said rap songs. So now you've been beating on your chest for the last year and a half how many streams he got, how he's at 1 billion streams, this, that, and the third. But at the end of the day, you're when I pull up the song, I'm not even done because I did another one that it was worse, right? It was worse than that. It was worse. It was more than 21 songs. But I did another one and I did the same thing. But at the end of the day, they're in my comments like, yo, you don't, he hasn't dropped no rap. Pay attention to words. Words matter. He didn't drop rap. You're not paying attention to what the game actually said, bro. No, I'm paying attention because we don't ever signify no other time. When I try to say he's a pop star, you'll come in my comments acting crazy, right? You want him to be a rapper until we say, okay, he did rap songs last year. You say, well, no, he only did art. They specifically say he only did R&B, son. Oh, so now if you go in my comments, the dude says, so now some sexy songs for you is rap, huh? Make up your mind. This is what it's coming to, gang. Silly semantics, goofy shit. That's why you can't argue with him. Because I'll pull out a hatchet and cut my own head off by the time I'm done arguing with these niggas. Right? They want to make you seem stupid by saying stupid shit. Okay? So I wrote under that, I said, after I read all that, I said, thanks, Google. Let's not forget that 21 Savage feature either. Google, I appreciate you. Salute to Google. It's all tongue-in-cheek. It's to make you mad, right? I may say, I only said that to make you mad, right? And they got mad. I'm like, 40-something comments. They going crazy in the comments and mission accomplished. But wait, there's more. So what I said was, you know what? In honor of Homeboy saying that, I'm going to do another Google search. In honor of Homeboy, all them coming in my comments saying, yo, B, he said rap, B. Learn basic, just use your thinking cap. Right? So I said, Google, how many rap songs? I said, how many rap songs did Drake appear in 2025? This is what Google said. In 2025, Drake appeared on approximately 40 songs. So this one was even worse than the last one, right? And I took the word rap out when I posted it because I knew the nigga was gonna come back. So, but I said, how many songs, rap songs, It said Drake appeared on approximately 40 songs, according to fan tracking and streaming data. Mind you, when they kept saying, yo, rap song, da-da-da, I didn't even write in there in that particular post about the episode songs that he dropped, right? The which one, what did I miss, Doghouse. I didn't even mention that in the other posts. So they're going nuts over trying to say that some sexy songs for you is R&Bs. They going crazy, losing their mind over that. And I didn't even get to the, I'm like, you sure? Because he dropped 8 months out of the 12, he was dropping music. I don't know if they know that. But they want to nitpick when the narrative is there for him, right? Okay, so let me continue. In 2025, Drake appeared on approximately 40 songs, according to fan tracking and streaming data. His activity for the year was centered around the release of his collaborative album Party Next Door and various guest features. Key releases and songs in 2025. Some Sexy Songs for You, a collaborative studio released in February 14th, 2025 with Party Next Door. Believe it or not, there were a couple of rap songs on there. But they only want to specify rap when it's convenient, right? So if he put out an R&B record every month and the shit goes #1, triple platinum, this, that, and the third, da, da, da. You think they're going to specify that when they start saying he's the greatest rapper in the world? Because they do it every day. They tell us every day he's the greatest rapper in the world, right? Do they ever say he's the greatest R&B artist? No, you never say that. They never say he's the greatest singer. No, they never say that. They say rapper. So, which means everything he put out is fair game to say it's a part of his catalog and he's a rapper. So Google told you put out 40 songs. They want to nullify that because it don't make no sense for Game to say he's silent and absent. How are you silent and absent when there are 40 songs out? Don't fit the narrative, gang. Their stomach start to hurt. They feel bubbles in their stomach, palpitations in the heart. It starts to don't feel right. So they gotta nitpick and say, well, those are R&B. Game meant rap. So let me finish. Nokia, his most successful song of 2025, becoming the only rap track released that year to certify RIAA double platinum. What Did I Miss was released in July of 2025. This was Drake's last top 10 hit on the Billboard Hot 100 for the year. What did I miss? After What Did I Miss? Mind you, this is the narrative is he's not outside. He's absent and silent. He doesn't come out. He don't do nothing, right? So basically, he had Nokia for the entire year. That was his record. Nothing else pop, gang. I need you to understand what's going on. But they'll rather come in here and spray me with the street sweeper before they admit that he is making music. It just ain't popping. But let me continue. So we got What Did I Miss? Released in July 2025. That was Drake's last top 10 hit on the Billboard 100 for the year. Then you got, it says Iceman, a track released later in the year or early 2026 that was highly anticipated to break chart slumps. I guess that was the leak. I guess they're counting that leak. So we're not going to count that leak. I think that was a leak. His 2025 performance stats, despite a perceived chart slump for the broader hip-hop genre, Drake remained the most streamed rapper of 2025. But that's all of the legacy stuff, all the old music, all that stuff from back in the day. That's what they're counting, which that's a whole nother conversation. I'm not going to get into that today. But we do know that UMG is actively pushing all that old stuff at a high level. Salute Toy in the building. I see you. So let me continue. All this now is going to be about the streams, right? But it says Spotify streams over 17.6 billion streams across all credits in 2025, breaking the record for the biggest streaming year for any rapper. But those are not all rap songs. But let's just say they are. He broke all the streaming records for the year, but the game is saying he wasn't outside. And he's absent and silent. That's a bunch of old stuff, and that's what they win my comments. You're being obtuse. They're talking about active currently, bro. They're not talking about his old stuff. Well, that's what we're talking about because he still is all still moving. So end of the day, let's continue. So then it goes, the top tracks were, Knife Talk came back up, Fear of Heights. But he did drop Doghouse, which is a rap record, if I'm not mistaken. He did drop Give Me a Hug, which I think that's a rap record. I'm not sure. He did drop which one? Right? Which one? He dropped What Did I Miss? Those are rap records. Now, a Drake rap record usually go on for months. It kills for months. Okay? Somebody was in my comments, dumbass. Drake usually drops 60 records in a year. He's not outside. You're not getting it. Okay? This is what he's trying to tell me. The arguments, they shift and move, gang. They like the hourglass of time, like the sands. They move like sand, gang. They move around. When you get close to nailing it, you put your hand out to grab it. It goes through your fingers because they shift it. It changes, so it don't stay the same, right? So at the end of the day, he dropped records after record. Now let's just say this, gang. Let me say this. Had he dropped, let's say, all the stuff, the records he dropped, those 8 rap tracks that he did drop, and that 21 Savage feature. Imagine that 21 Savage feature went crazy, right? You wouldn't hear the end of it. He got rap on his back, yo. Look at he would have rap on his back, right? It came out in December 2025, and they were still banging that right now. He'd be a hero. Rap is on his back. If it wasn't for Drake, it wouldn't be. So now that he himself couldn't bring it up, right? He himself can't pop it. Now all the rappers suffering because he ain't outside. You got to make it make sense, gang. What if Doghouse comes out, #1 smash, 7 months straight, is at the top 5, it's #1 for 3 months, #2 for 3 more months? That would mean the game needs him and he controls the game. They don't think about this. If he was absent and silent, when he does drop like Kendrick did with GNX, the game was shut down. All right? He's not absent and he's not silent. Game is wrong. But it's propaganda because he dropped, I just told you, he dropped 40 records last year. They want to nitpick and say, well, that one was R&B. That one was this, that, and third. I bet you if all that shit would have hit, we wouldn't know the difference. It would just be a bunch of memes with how fucking popping this nigga is. How he shut down the game and nobody can eat. That would be the narrative. He shut down the game. You can't eat when he dropped. Da, da, da. Now when them Jones, they come out, you know, like a sparkler on 4th of July. When you light up sparklers ain't what they used to be. I had all my little, I had my nieces and them and nephews, this, not the third. And I bought a box of them fireworks. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna hit them over the head with these sparklers. They doing the sparklers like this. Them joints is done in like 30 seconds. But by the time you light the sparklers, they already out. You getting 30 seconds. So these records that he's dropping, they sparklers, gang. They 30 seconds. So now when you seeing that as a fan, and especially as the people that run in these group chats where you have to actually put together some marketing strategies, this, that, and the third, and some propaganda, you got to know what you're doing. You got to figure out, okay, the records are not landing. We had no kid, but it took a lot. Gang, I was on Twitter. I saw the push. I know a lot of you guys got real jobs and real lives. I was on Twitter watching them say, come on, guys. Keep streaming. No kid is almost there. I saw them push no kid for 4 weeks actively. Telling each other to use this link. Get those numbers up. Make sure you're using the right platforms. We need to push it up. I saw them making their own fans keep streaming a song that they didn't really care about like that. Because you wouldn't have to tell people to do it. So I saw them for 4 weeks straight. 2 phones, 3 phones, pushing that damn song. Okay, you can't do that you can't do that for all the songs, gang. That's why that one song got all that muscle. His fans not there like that no more. The songs used to be organic because his reputation was better. His reputation ain't what it used to be. So now it takes a lot more time for this guy to push a record now. So they stuck on No Kid. That you saw, that's the only one. The only other song that came even close, according to Google, was What Did I Miss? And I believe that was the lead single. Am I bugging out? Right? Because that was episode 1. Right? No, am I bugging? No, What Did I Miss was that wasn't the lead single off that album. I'm sorry. That was after the album. I'm sorry. But that was supposed to be the big record that was going to make things pop. Am I bugging out? So I'm not sure what's going on. What's the one he did the video for? Was that What Did I Miss? He did the video with the Brazilian dancers. I'm not sure. End of the day, right? The only one that really worked was the No Kid one. That was the one with the dancers, the video. So that was the only one that worked. All this other stuff, 40 records, this, that, and the third, right? Remember the Camila Cabello? I don't know if that was in 2024 or 2025. Everything was flatlining. The stimulus was dead. So that the stimulus is dead, the people that run the chat and run the Zoom chat, this, that, and the third, they got to think quick. Shit gonna be at 8 o'clock in the morning. They're gonna need answers. The whole Zoom call gonna be lit up. Hi guys, welcome back. So today we're not only gonna we're gonna go at Kendrick. You know that that's every morning about 8:30. Get out your Kendrick post, your anti-Kendrick post about 8:30, 8:40. Then after that, I want you guys to go full on. You're gonna do some No Kid shouts out and just get people blood pumped up about No Kid. Get them pressing the buttons and da. And then after that, they figure this shit out. So now the narrative is that this guy has fell back and has taken his ball, and now the game is up. Mind you, hip hop was already going down. You know why? Because it's a lot of repetitive shit being forced on us by these record execs. They only sign to certain people that make a certain kind of sound. The only people that's making sounds that ain't being looked at as a record. Let's just say this. Let's just say this. Even though we clown La Russell, even you, right? We clowning him. He was doing a different kind of sound, and the people was gravitating to that out in the world. Rock Nation comes along after he's already popping. He would have never got signed if he would have never got a record deal from anyone. Because he's not doing the formulaic shit. Yo, let me see. I got a rapper for you. Okay, dude, check the boxes. Don't bring him in here. We need to check the box. Okay, what you need? You know the boxes. Dreads, check. No shirt, check. Tattoos, check. White cup, double cup, check. Okay, what else? We need all that first before we even start. Skinny, check. Right? We need to check all the boxes. Bring him in here. All right, come on in. Little what? What's his last name? Little you. Come on in. Right? Certain kind of rappers ain't getting signed, gang. That's being pushed by the labels, and it got formulaic. People started seeing through that. And the kids got tired of it because they cater all the music around the kids. So the kids got tired of it. They've been calling us old heads, this, that, and the third. Oh, you gatekeepers, you the problem with. But we were trying to tell your ass, you can't run a business model like this. Repetitive, formulaic. You keep trying to get on the Billboard charts. You're letting these guys not say nothing. You're letting their lyrics just drivel. You actually made a fortune off something called mumble rap. Right there, then and there, you knew you was dead wrong. How long can mumble rap last, gang? These people made a fortune off of mumble rap. I'm trying to figure out how you thought that was a sustainable. Well, they don't need it to be sustainable. They just needed to make money for a good amount of time. Right? They were like, we got through SoundCloud era. We figured it out. You got to think these labels were in trouble. They were firing people, laying people off, closing out whole departments. They don't even have A&R departments no more. Right? They most of the shit labels found out in the late 90s. We can just a skeleton crew of what, because what they used to have, right? They used to have A&Rs. And the A&Rs was one of their jobs was to find new talent, and the other job was to cultivate that talent and make that talent a viable commodity. And these guys were getting paid handsomely. And we used to read the stories of the A&Rs because they would put them in like the Source magazines and this, that, and the third. And I remember reading one of them Source magazines. It was like the day in the life of an A&R. I don't remember what A&R it was. I don't know who it was. I don't know if Bones Malone. I don't know who it was. I know Bones Malone used to be. Salute to Bones Malone. But it used to be A&Rs that go up to the magazines and they would tell you what their day was like. And they'd be like, yo, listen, I get a cup of coffee. I go and get that big ass box. It's 2 big ass boxes of tapes. Niggas said to be tapes all goddamn day. I can't listen to half of it. So my assistant go through the shit. Right. So half the time when you got, if they even, the A&R didn't even have time no more to listen to your music. The assistant listening to your shit. I believe Eminem got signed because an A&R assistant heard it. I'm almost certain that's what happened. The assistant would go through the box because they sent dumbass niggas like me sending tapes all fucking day. Right? So it's like they got nothing but tapes and CDs that are thousands. They can't possibly hear all that shit. But their job was supposed to sit there with their headphones on, going through shit, finding shit. They be like, well, I do that for a little bit. Then I go down to get a drink, go get some lunch, and then shit. By the time I'm finished with that, it's fucking dinner time. You know what I'm saying? These motherfuckers ain't doing shit. Then they go to an open mic, sit there for a little bit, watch a couple acts, right? And then they start going online and just figuring it out from there who's doing what. What they realize is we need somebody that already knows what they're doing. They know how to pop. They already making music. They already got a fan base. They learned that shit when they started realize this little slogan came out, out the trunk, right? We sell CDs out the trunk. Ludacris. I sell my CDs out the trunk. Master P, out the trunk. Too Short. I sell my CDs out the trunk. When dudes in the hood realize they can go hood to hood, I believe the West Coast started, well, I don't know, East Coast was doing that too. Out the trunk. We was going all the way to Jersey. We riding on around every hood, Nas and all that. Everybody said, out the trunk. Jay-Z said they went up and down the East Coast selling CDs. When people started to realize, you got to think it's a hustle too. You're sitting there selling $10 CDs, da-da-da-da. When people started selling shit out the trunk, they started making a considerable amount of money. There's a lot of rappers who were doing that. So what the label started realizing is they're not only our competition, they're beating us. They're spending a fraction of what we're spending on marketing, this, that, and the third, the radio payola, this, that, and the third. They're spending a fraction on that, and they're getting straight money, and they're beating us. Master P, they didn't want Master P in the game. Master P was beating them. He was making money for years before they even let him on the radio. When I first heard about it on the radio, Master P had already blew up in the hood. About it. They about it. The hood had already embraced Master P. Everybody had a Master P CD before they gave him the deal. Before he got on the radio, they didn't want to play that shit on the radio. But what happened was he was so popped in the hood, people start calling the radio. Why y'all not playing Master P? Why y'all not playing this, that, and the third? So the radio started realizing, they're getting back to the label. Like, listen, they're not really feeling the shit you got. There's a lot of guys in the hood that's making better music, and they getting more popular in the hood. So what happened was they started to cut out the A&R department, and now the record labels are just going direct to the rapper that's popping already. Ludacris had a bidding war for Ludacris, right? They had a bidding war for a couple of these rappers because they was already making money on the street. Ludacris said, I didn't need the label. I was already making, they had to make the offer so crazy for me to, because it would mess up my money. So now we got these labels that realize we don't need A&Rs no more. We could just let the rapper blow it by itself. We learned that in the mid-90s. The label start firing the people that's supposed to, the A&R that's not doing shit. He going to open mics and might bring you one. Remember that movie with Diddy, Get Him to the Greek? He said, who the last person you signed? He said, Chocolate Daddy. He said, who? Chocolate Daddy. Chocolate motherfucking Daddy. How many units did he sell? I think he said 1,900. How many? 1,900. Whatever it was, 12,000. I think it was 12,000. He's like, I'm proud of those units, right? That's their job. Their job was to find somebody, bring them to the label, and make money. Well, they fired all of them. You go to a label right now, you ain't getting no A&R. Right? If somebody's an A&R, get in the comments and say, I'm an A&R, I still work. Right? Maybe some labels still got A&Rs, but for the most part, these guys have eliminated all that shit. So now you just, these rappers, they got to be good on their own. So the label not looking for somebody now that's going to just be, they got to mold them and shape them. I went all the way around the Mulberry Bush to say they're signing people who are already ready to go. And you know who's already ready to go? A lot of people that is already biting what's already popping. Right now, and for the last 7-10 years, you could just bite somebody else's style. You can look just like them. You can take their whole, just like Logic just did that thing. I'm gonna make some Cardi music, and he made Cardi music sounding like just like him. You could just steal it, imitate it, and the labels would swoop in. Oh snap! We got another little Yachty. Like they just run in, scoop you up. Remember they was throwing around them deals, they $1 million deals. This time there was $1 million loan. But they throw these $1 million deals, right? And they scooping up the rappers that already sound the same. Wasn't no whole lot of chance. They wasn't taking no chances. Wasn't a whole lot of chances. It's like, is this something that could already pop? Is he already popping? Okay, bring him in. So there was formulaic. Rap is music itself. The music business is a monkey see, monkey do. It's a copycat league. So they're all going to start to copy, right? That's why rap was going down. I went all the way around to say it's a formulaic league. It was going down anyway because they were getting too formulaic, and the record labels figured out a way to control YouTube. They started figuring out, because you got to think a lot of them working there hand in hand. They could control what gets popping. Gang, it's a whole shit. Spotify can control what gets popping. iHeart, it's all they all work hand in hand because they all get paid together. So they're going to make this scene popping, make that scene popping. And this battle came, and a lot of people saw that a really good rapper could really, really rap. They hadn't seen that in a while. I'm just going to be honest. This is why they got these problems with it, because they were flooding you with a lot of bullshit. I went around all the way around the Mulberry Bush because now I told you XQC, the streamer, the white dude, he said it perfectly. He said, I don't want to hear no lyrics that's saying something. He said, I want to hear stuff that don't have no message at all. He said, I want my music to be mindless. I want to be able to play it in the background. He was talking about rap. He said, I want to be able to play it in the background while I play games. I don't want the music to have no message. Get that shit out of here. He was speaking for a lot of people because they've been brought up on mindless ass rap. So right now, what Quincy Jones III is trying to tell you is bring back the mindless rapping. Let's do it together. Because we can't get on Billboard without it. But end of the day, You can't get on Billboard with it no more because this battle made people remember or learn exactly what happens in a battle. You actually got to be good at writing rhymes. You got to be good at making music. You got to be concise with your wordplay. People hadn't heard that ever, if not in years. So they sat there and heard Meet the Grams. They heard 616 LA. They heard Euphoria and Family Matters. They heard all these motherfuckers just saying shit that was clear, concise. They had to put thoughts into it. They had to direct their energy at a target and stay focused and try to tear him down, for lack of a better word. That's what a battle is. That's what the culture does. So people started seeing that. They never, a lot of them are Gen Zers, never seen this shit before. Mesmerized. That's why they so engaged in this GNX album, because they haven't heard nothing like that in years. Us old heads like me, that's old West Coast shit. Like, we heard that shit 1,000 times. I'm from the day when they invented that shit. 89, 88, 91, right? The original NWA with Arabian Prince and all that shit. We heard all that old school West Coast shit. These new kids had never heard nothing like this. They're like, oh my God, this shit's amazing. Now they hitting rap, which they hadn't been here for a while. Let's just be honest. I'm not going to just put it like this. I'm not going to put it all on Atlanta like that. But that sound had become it started to permeate, and it started to get redundant. Just like the West Coast back then, they got redundant. East Coast, everybody who has it going to get redundant. Okay? So that sound started to get redundant. And what once was Billboard darling shit becomes not a factor. That was already happening before this battle started. And the battle just solidified. You can't come in here with that weak shit. The sound has changed. It was already changing anyway. So that's just what it is. So end of the day, we're seeing a genre, and it's not even hip hop. It's commercial rap, right? Or even, and I'll just give you this. Let's say rap as a whole. If we're going to say rap's place on Billboard started to decrease, even though they still on there, they're talking about the hot ones, the hot 100, this, that, and the third. Well, I keep telling you, a lot of those people who are going to play the rap, they have too many options to listen to a lot of other shit now. They don't got to listen to a lot of repetitive drivel. Country, like, how was country before when it wasn't cool, right? Country cool again. You got Shabuzi and all these other people, and what's this, Teddy Swims, all these motherfuckers. So now country's cool again, right? And now they can go listen to that shit. They can go listen to, it's a lot of pop records that a lot of the white girls, white boys, and this, that, and third, who was flooding to hear all this rap stuff. They don't gotta flood to that no more because it's repetitive. It ain't enriching, and they got other shit they can go listen to. That's who was driving that market. So when you keep saying hip hop is down 50%, well, I mean, a lot of white kids that will listen to it ain't trying to hear it no more. Okay, let's just be honest, because it's repetitive and it ain't got there's no food in it. Now we hearing Kendrick and these other rappers come back. It's like, yo, oh, that's what rap supposed to sound like. It's supposed to have an edge. It's supposed to be gritty. It's supposed to be street. It ain't supposed to be really like dumb. Okay. And what we started seeing was a lot of dumb shit. A lot of rappers that really don't really care about the craft, don't care about the art form. They don't care. A lot of these guys will tell you straight up. All them guys that Kendrick name on that Atlanta record, they tell you straight up, why you name me? I don't like the battle shit. I ain't into that battle and da-da-da. They don't care anyway. They could care less about the culture. They just in it for the money. And when you're in it for the money, your shit gonna suffer. Because after a while, you're only going to make stuff that sounds like it's to be made for money. And people don't gotta listen to that. So at the end of the day, we're getting issues with a guy like Isaac Hayes III, right? I'm sure his father probably somewhere like, come on, son. Right? What was the name of the guy, the character on what's the show? South Park, right? Isaac Hayes is his character. Chef. Salute to Isaac Hayes, man, the legend, right? Chef somewhere like scratching his head, like, I don't know what my son talking about, because rap is supposed to be a certain kind of way. You're not supposed to be formulaic, and you're not supposed to be judging it if it hits the Billboard or not. We used to couldn't care less about that shit. Is it good? Is the song good? But now we got people like Isaac Hayes keep trying to tell us that it has to be on the Billboard or it ain't good. Salute to Stats, says Chef. Skate and destroy Mimi, da-da-da. Salute. Rest in peace, Isaac Hayes, CNI. Right? So we're looking at this thing all wrong if we keep judging it. But you got to think, a Drake fan that they brought into this world, into the hip hop space based on numbers. If you're a Drake fan, a lot of times all you saw was how much it sold, what it sold, da da da. And that's the culture that it ain't their fault, right? I tell you all the time that this red cup is water, gang. Just in case y'all wonder, we ain't getting saucy till later. We still going on live tonight on the What Show, but the whole situation changed for these rappers, right? And hold on, Kendra gives me Pac by. That's true. Not seeing the building. People hate when you say that. They hate when you say that. Isaac Hayes had an album with Millie Jackson called Royal Rappings, where they was talking shit the whole album. Isaac Hayes know what's up. Isaac Hayes knows what's up. His son, Isaac Hayes III, they're trapped in this Drake era. I told you Jay-Z started this shit. How many records you sold? Like rapper said it, but it didn't get really prominent until my guy Hove started talking about ain't nobody moving units except me, except Pimp, Juice, M, and us, right? Jay started all that numbers talk. I held it down for 6 summers, fam. Where's the love? He started all that talking about the summer, this, that, and the third. So now you got, and then 50 carried, you ran with it. Now it's all about how many units you sold, what you sell, da 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 da. So now we got this mind state. And a lot of people on Twitter locked in with it that yo, your shit got to be on Billboard, son. It sounds so dumb saying it out your mouth. It sounds ridiculous to say it out your mouth. Yo, hip hop ain't on the Billboard, nigga. We used to have rappers actively dissing shit that went on the Billboard. That's why you think they had the Hammer? Why do you think they was dissing Hammer? Right? Why you think they was calling niggas whack and corny? Da, da, da. If your shit, a lot of times when you went on Billboard, it usually meant you were trying to get on there. Hip hop used to openly clown dudes because they were going out of their way to tap dance for that label to be commercial. Right? Used to call them crossover. EPMD got song the crossover, right? Used to call them the crossover. Why black folks always got a crossover? But that was what the labels wanted. The greatest thing on earth to a label head was somebody who can cross over, i.e. Drizzy. But they flipped the script now that the crossover can be the number one because he was able to cross over. It's bizarre, gang. When money started to control hip-hop, the way to get the money was to get the hit records. And what started to mean you had a hit record? When it was on Billboard. So now people like Drake and others, they are making it where if your record ain't on Billboard, it's not popping. And that's not how hip hop works. Hip hop works for the people who are really hip hop heads to listen to something and say that record is fire. That's a hip hop record. Not they going in now, gang, off first week sales. That's what make the record popping. We got academics giving out the first week sale prediction every time something, and it's always wrong. Yo, T minus expected to do 16,000, and the nigga does something way different. So it's like they've conditioned people, all of these fans, to look at life as, or look at hip hop as, what did it sell? Is it on Billboard? It ain't good or not. That's why you can't get no new music, no organic artists, because they only worried about, is it going to sell? Can it sell? Then you got a lot of these execs who really out of touch, white and black, don't really know what to do, right? Tell them up. They heard we just heard LaRussell just say on the video yesterday that they told him they didn't want to put the record on radio. They wanted it to get on TikTok first, right? And if we can get a hit on, they focus on getting hits on TikTok. You know why? Because when the TikTok hits, it goes up millions. You got to get a lot of, guess what, money. So they're not actively trying to find hip hop heads no more. They don't care about hip hop heads. They're looking for young people that's going to do a dance to it and do a challenge and recreate it and da 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 da. They're not looking for good music no more. They're looking for something that they can get people to dance to. So we're not talking about the same thing, gang. Isaac Hayes III. We're not talking about the same thing. You're talking about corporate stooge shit. You're talking about record sales and streams, and you want to collab. You want to turn it into some punk ass shit. Well, I don't like this nigga, but I'm gonna go get on a record with him. It's goofy shit. That's what you're trying to make it into, and we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Shout to Bala on Twitch. The artists have to have an established online following. The work for the label is done for them. That's a fact. So what it is we're looking at the game following suit. I told you those Drake stream call, those Drake Zoom calls that they make. That's been going on for a while, and those Zoom calls mandate. They just found out about the Trump Zoom calls. Just found out about that. How Lecrae. I just saw a post today. I reposted it. How Lecrae, the MAGA guy, he was posting. Then he didn't get paid. So now he's going crazy, telling on all the business, talking about the Zoom calls, telling about the mandates. Well, it don't just happen with them. It's a lot of different people doing the same thing. Zoom calls, mandates, propaganda, narratives, all that stuff is mandated from the top. They're saying that who's that? I think it's who's coming out with a lawsuit. Is it who's somebody's got a lawsuit coming saying that they have paperwork of over $2 million worth of money is allocated to certain accounts on Twitter to just push narratives. I don't remember who it was, but somebody's coming out with a lawsuit and they're going to spill the beans on this, that, and the third. Well, we already knew that, but we just don't know where the money's coming from. But it's one PR firm supposedly giving all this money to push narratives. I keep telling you about the Drake stream, Zoom calls, this, that, and the third. So they have these Zoom calls. People get the cash apps, this, that, and the third. Most of these accounts are overseas, right? If you go check and you're on your Twitter, now that they done messed up these motherfuckers when they put this shit on Twitter where you can see where people actually are coming from. You can just go click it and be like, oh, South Africa, say less. Oh, Morocco, say less. Oh, Brazil. So it's a lot of that going on. So end of the day, we got a lot of narratives that's pushing, and that leads to what the music is getting pushed, right? So everything is being said one way, but we the real hip hop is like J. Cole try to say, culture don't exist no more as a buzzword. No, the culture is very alive and well, and it don't feed into a lot of shit. We can spot the bots, we can spot the narratives. We don't listen to the shit no more, and we actively combat it on Twitter. So J. Cole with this shit, he's another one. Yo, I hope Iceman go crazy. I don't like what y'all did to Drake. What are you talking about, gang? What are you saying? Like they're all losing their minds, and it's like, but the problem is they're losing their minds, but it all has a greater purpose because a lot of them got something that they want to get rid of. A lot of them, the culture says that J. Cole backed out of a battle and it was lame. It would be nice to not have no culture no more, because then it wouldn't be lame no more, right? It wouldn't make no sense to have a culture that's going to call you out when you do some goofy shit, right? End of the day. So that's where we're at with it. The people, Jay-Z, you too, even you, Jay, even you. Jay-Z is saying the same shit. Yo, I'm disappointed in how the battle went down. I don't think I love that, how you guys went at it. They were nasty too. This is Jay. Yo, they were mean too. They talk about people, kids. Well, guess what, Jay? We've had stands before the battle. Jay wants to end all battles because the stands got too mean. They're too mean to Drake. I don't like, he literally said Drake. He didn't say Kendrick, right? He said, I don't like what they did to Drake. And I told you, the sophisticated ass Jay-Z fans with the fucking ascot and they goddamn wine glass and the long ass cigarette with the stem, they telling me that I'm misconstruing Jay-Z's words. Sorry, my brother, but you're wrong. Hov never said such a thing. I'm like, nigga, he said exactly that. Exactly what he said. You need to loosen up that ascot, take that shit off, because I know what he said, and Hov is out of touch. But all these guys got an agenda, right? The culture is online too, and J. Cole's like, yo, the culture is on. It's not the culture. It's just a bunch of people on Twitter. Guess what, nigga? Okay, it don't mean that just because they on Twitter talking shit about you that they're not real people. The culture is online. Sad to tell you that. Good, bad, or indifferent, the culture has moved to social media, and we actively going to talk shit, right? A lot of people was mad at me for clowning Cole about that goofy ass game in China. Chucked up 4 threes, missed all 4 of them. They got 1 rebound, and then went home. Supposed to play 3 games, played 1. That nigga chucked that 4th rebound. He chucked that 4th 3 up, missed that shit wildly. He was like, good night. I'm going back home. He didn't tell nobody till he got back home. Fans bought tickets to the next 2 games, this, not the third. They can't even get a refund. Cole already home. Cole ain't tell nobody he was home until he was home. Motherfucker like, well, goddamn, what am I supposed to do with these goddamn tickets? I bought a fucking flight. So it's like everybody got an agenda to squash this whole thing for this, that, and the third. They didn't like when I was talking. Twitter's mean, gang. We've been mean since MySpace, gang. We've been mean before that. But they want to end it and everybody get along. End of the day. So what I'm saying is we're seeing guys actively trying to change narratives because they got stuff that they want to eliminate. And you can't make money when the culture is not jiving with you, right? Hove, no, he got La Russell, this, that, the third coming out. He need this shit to work. He need a lot of this stuff that we're saying. We're clowning a lot of people. We're clowning La Russell. We're clowning J. Cole right now, openly, actively. The culture is clowning. Yes, he got his fans, but at the end of the day, we're clowning him. We're clowning Drake. The culture is we're funny people. You go in any barbershop right now, they clowning somebody. You're not going to change that shit because you get on here and tell us that the culture is dead and only 3 pillars are 1 pillar's left out of the 4. All this shit, Jay-Z talking nonsense. And that's my nigga. That's my guy. Talking a lot of nonsense. I'm sitting there listening to that joint like, it took me 20 seconds to try. I was trying to spin it in my head. Like, what does he mean? Like, nah. 20, 30 seconds, I was like, nah, he said it. Charles, do your job, nigga. Choo-choo. We going in. Right? Cover me, I'm going in. I was like, we going in. This is my guy, Hov. I want them tickets and all that. Right? But at the end of the day, no. You're saying some wild shit and we got to call you out just like we did with Cole and everybody else. Now Cole on the worst interview run in history, trying to change all the narratives and shit. Said he coming back on do some more interviews. Don't do no more interviews. We've seen enough. We've ate enough. Like, well, we gonna keep eating because the interview's gonna say some more ridiculous shit. But at the end of the day, no, save yourself. So at the end of the day, this is where we at with it. My whole thing right now is with the game, right? The game is trolling, but he also loyal and he believes the shit. And when you say stuff like this, it makes other people start to regurgitate the nonsense. No, hip hop is not. Hip hop ain't down shit. Hip hop is up right now, and they still get on the Billboard. But they're trying to minimize hip hop's significance to what the charts. Which I say again is people in Idaho and Iowa, this, that, and third. If they could get them to listen to it and start streaming it on repeat, then that somehow makes it successful. No, hip hop for the people that really are hip hop heads, not the stands and fans who only got into it because they heard One Dance one day, and now I like Drake. And now they hip hop heads. They're on Twitter arguing with me, right? You got your first hip hop record was, if you're reading this like it's too late or whatever. That's your first hip hop record, but you're gonna argue with me. No, you're not qualified, my G. Sad to tell you that. You can just sit back and learn. And there's people like Isaac Hayes III that's perpetuating, putting gas on it, that if it's not on Billboard, then we're not successful. We're making some really good hip hop. Hip hop is shed its skin, got a lot of goofy shit off of it. End of the day. All right. So, like I said, this guy done dropped 40 records and they want to turn the narrative. Well, they rap, they R&B. No, he dropped 40 records. He isn't outside. He is indeed outside. They even was like, he haven't streamed in 8 months. That's all. Shit. Wow. How you figure? I just saw the thing on the stream with Ben and Don a few weeks ago. Like last week, like a week or two. Like, I don't know what the fuck. He has a stream. They all in my gang. I get the weirdest comments, gang. I get the weirdest comments all day. But I don't just post about Drake fans. So I post about a lot of shit, a lot of black shit, just a lot of shit on my Twitter. I'm just a conduit. A conduit. Like, you know what motherfuckers say? What's black Twitter? Well, start at Charles Payne. It's like half his shit black Twitter. Right? End of the day. So I do post about this guy, but not a lot, not as much as they try to make it. But he do a lot of dumb shit. And then he got a lot of people capable for him and they doing dumb shit. So you say dumb shit, you're gonna get a dumb answer. So end of the day, I'm looking at this shit. I'm looking at it like, gang, I'm watching this play out. Game should know better. But at the end of the day, Game right now, Game needs you to go play that damn whatever that album is. He just dropped the Gangsta Grills and this and that third with DJ Drama, where he trying to low-key sub K Dot and get his shit off. This and that third. K Dot ain't even responding. This nigga K Dot on the motherfucking what's the teacups down in goddamn Disneyland. He didn't even know that the record out. The word he dropped the record. What's it about? Like, he ain't even heard the shit. Shit came out 2 months ago. So Game right now, he need attention. He need people to go play that Gangsta Grill. Matter of fact, go play the Gangsta Grill shit when I'm done. Go play it for Game, because that's what he wants. He wants somebody to go put that shit on. DJ Gangsta. He needs somebody to play that shit. Right? So he gonna go in here and say some nonsense. Game know better than this, but he's, like I said, he's loyal. And he somehow loved this nigga. He risked it all to not go to the pop-up, or he wasn't invited, depending on who you ask. Didn't go to the pop-up, stood up for his boy Drizzy. He's loyal. You gotta respect that to a degree. He really risked his whole standing on the whole West Coast, let's just be honest, just to not go to the pop-out in honor or defense of this guy. Just be honest. So all of that whole thing, he stood up for me. You got to kind of low key. Okay, you know what, I'm gonna give you that. You loyal to homeboy, you dead ass wrong. You on the wrong side of history as usual, right? 9 times I don't know how many times Game been on the right side of history. Let's just be honest. How many times he been on the right side of history outside of signing that damn deal with Dr. Dre? Which he done went on the diss. The nigga said Kanye did more for my career than Dr. Dre. Right? Nigga, you know, he mad against Kanye, changed his mind every other 2 days. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what the fuck we talking about? So at the end of the day, we see Game doing what Game does. Da 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 da. Right? Ain't nothing new, nothing to see here, right? Let me get to this. Let me get to this dude, Jay Electronica. Let me get to this dude. Salute Sam's in the building. And I want to salute my mods, man. Y'all are very good. And I saw you yesterday, Girly Jock had to put somebody on timeout. Thank you. You mods are you are very good. I appreciate you guys. All right. So let me get to this other guy, man. Let me get to this other guy, Jay Electronica again, because let me get to JE guy. I just did a video on Jay Electronica. And let me know if there's no lag on that life. If nothing going on crazy. I did a video on Jay Electronica about 3 days ago. And I didn't have much pushback. Some people was upset. They were like, you know, like y'all just nitpicking. It's hip hop. A salute to the queen. It's a black queen with my comments. It was like I was at that show, and it was a beautiful thing. I don't know why this video is depressing me because the people had a great time. Da, da, da. But I did a video on Jay Electronica about 3-4 days ago. I don't know how many days ago it was. Jay Electronica went on the stage. He, from what I saw, Queen, and I'm not going to disrespect you or say your opinion, your memories of the show are incorrect, Queen. But end of the day, when I saw the performance, somebody put a 15-minute recap of the show. Okay, and in that 15 minutes, Jay Electronica show was absolutely terrible. Right? My grandfather is gone. Rest in peace. He's been dead about 20 years. And I think my grandfather might have did a better show than that. That show looked awful. He's walking around. He playing records that you don't do at shows. He got whole verse rapping. It just wasn't good to me. Right? It looked like I've been saying Jay Electronica is uninspired. That's why it took you 10 years to get the goddamn song you got, the record you did get. Right? Jay Electronica is probably the only rapper on earth still living off a record that he did back in 03. Like when I was sleeping on the train. Like he's still living off Exhibit A, gang. I'm just gonna be honest. So we've been seeing that's another one, bidding war. They put a bidding war. Diddy. We're gonna get to this is what we here for. Because he said free Diddy. Diddy, Jay-Z, and a bunch of labels. You gotta think about it. It's a different time, gang. It's a different time. Let me take you back. To a different time. Jay Electronica. That was like it was MySpace. MySpace was popping. And this video, I'm gonna tell you how I was introduced to Jay Electronica. This video started circulating. Now y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. This video started circulating of this Islam brother, 5% or Muslim brother with the bow tie brother. Because these guys, they're immaculate. These suits, everything's clean. They not allowed to be unclean. They got to be clean. Their clothes got to be fresh. They gotta look really, really good. Fruit of Islam, right? So when I first saw Jay Electronica, and this is before like Vine and shit, but before we called it memes, I don't think we called it memes. It should just go viral. They weren't called viral yet. It's just like, you see this video, fucking cat video, this, that. So this video of Jay Electronica, he was in a bow tie rapping. And this dude was going crazy. The whole thing, like bow tie, Islam, rapping. This dude was going nuts. And it was like, we've never seen a Islamic dude, a dude in a bow tie rapping. We've never seen this. Ever. So, end of the day, it was amazing, and it spread through the internet like fire. Correct me if I'm wrong. So we got introduced. We didn't know his name, just some random dude with a bow tie rapping, da da da. And he was so nice, it caught the attention of different people. Da 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 da. Right? So we started to be like, yo, we don't know homeboy, but he nice, da 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 da. One thing led to another. He had music. I don't know the whole story. Somebody else could know the story better than me. If I'm not, maybe it wasn't him, but I feel like I feel like I saw him in a video rapping with the whole spiel. It could be another guy. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But somehow, some way, he blew up and started to get a buzz. End of the day, I don't know how Jay got wind of him. Da da da. Bidding war for Jay Electronica. He got that beat. Exhibit A. Who made that beat? Who made that Exhibit A beat? Was it Just Blaze? Just Blaze was in his prime. He made that shit, right? So, end of the day, long story short, salute to Toy, you out of here? Salute to Toy. So, end of the day, that the Exhibit A came out, shook the game, shook the rap game, shook. It's like, yo, if you didn't know who he was, I think this was in the blog era when the blog was what we do now, but they did it back then and they controlled music. If they put out something, they said it was good, forget it. It was good. It's on and popping, right? I think Tyler and Odd Future, all that shit's from the blog era. Wale, a lot of people in that blog era, Asher Roth, I Love College, the blog era, right? Hops and all that shit. So he blew up in that era, bidding war, da 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 da. Hove won the bidding war. Diddy wanted to be involved with the whole shit, but for whatever reason, he never ever. And salute to Don Yebe, he brought up an Erica Badu, which could be the reason, but for whatever reason, that music that he was supposed to be making at that time, that he was chosen in that bidding war, it just started to take a year, then 2 years, then 3 years, then 4. He never dropped the album. Everybody's like, what's up? No motherfucker have. They're talking about what happened to Jay Electronica 2 years into his shit. You know what I'm saying? 10 years later, he still, what happened to Jay Electronica? So it took a very long time. And when he actually finally put out an album, right? Jay, he had already had this whole thing. He's with the Rothstein girl. Was it the Rothschilds girls? Billionaires, the daughters of the billionaire, right? He had gone through a whole lot of stuff. I say it all the time. Jay Electronica didn't need to rap. Oh, my bad. Sorry about that. D Don Yebe, my bad. So he didn't need to rap. So he started to rap less and less and less. And it took a lot of stuff, in my opinion, and a lot of others, to get Jay Electronica on the mic. They finally ended up, I feel like Hove pressed him. And that's how you got that album with him and Hove, where Hove was eating food. Hove was like, I've been ready. If I've been built for this. Hove was rapping like he was the FOI, right? So we got that album. We all mostly agree in hip hop. I tell you, certain things are just, they are what they are. Most people agree. Hove ate that album, ate the food. If it wasn't for Hove, the album probably wouldn't have been what it was. And I think he was pushing one verse per song. Some songs they had no verse. So it's just like, to me, it was lazy. It felt lazy. I'm just gonna be honest. I did a on my other channel, album reviews. I reviewed that album 10 years ago, whenever it was, 9, 10. I don't know how long ago it came out, but I was like, I don't know what happened, but I don't know how long ago it was. But he dropped that album a very long time ago, and I said, this sounded like he didn't even want to be on this album. It sounded like Jay-Z pressured him to rap, and that's how he got on here. You got this album because of Jay-Z. And it's facts. So we had a guy that had a bidding war, but then spent years like a node man. He would pop in, pop out. Got mad. He got on the record with Big Sean and Kendrick on Control, and was named in the Control verse. And was one of the people that took offense outside of Drake. Well, all of them took offense, but some of them handled it better than others, right? And allegedly Cole took offense too, and some of them subs is over that Control verse, but that's another topic, right? So we had one of the most promising careers, ended up getting outshined on the Control verse by a newcomer. And I don't know if y'all remember, but J.E. gave a warning shot to K-Dot at the time, telling him to be careful. Basically, like, listen, don't make me come and do ya. Do ya shotgun, boo ya. Like, I'm gonna do you on this mic. Somebody stop me when I'm wrong. Okay. So end of the day, we saw a guy not live up to his potential at all. Okay. We saw him do the album with Hove, and then we saw him a few months ago randomly out of nowhere drop like 3 EPs, barely rapping on those. Instrumentals, clips of movies. But at the end of the day, and some of you guys got mad at me when I said this is the worst. It came out last year. I did a video. I said this is the worst album rollout in history. This is before J. Cole did this crazy ass run, right? I said this is the worst rollout in rap. He threw these albums, he threw these 3 CDs, he threw 3 EPs out, barely rapping on them, didn't say nothing, not promoting them. I said this is awful. And some of you caught feelings. Yo, he moved on his own time, son. He moved with the universe. The sun don't watch the stars. The star, like, it's all this shit that's getting in my comments telling me, yo, son, God don't watch the cows. The cows watch God. He moved when he's supposed to. It's divine, son. Da 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 da. Right? So, end of the day, a lot of you felt that it was a good thing. I didn't. And most of the people in the industry was looking at it like scratching their head, like, what happened? Hove, he just randomly dropped. Now, I don't even think he on Under Rock Nation. I think when this one came out, it had a whole different name. But Hove waited for years for that music that never came. So I say all that to say this. He's on tour right now. And I believe who was that told me? Who's opening for him? Is it Stove God Cooks? I think Stove God Cooks is on the J Electronica tour. Now, I just told you, I saw the video of J Electronica. Now, the whole beef is, the whole last video was that J Electronica screamed on his fans because they started to boo him. Okay? He's in the I'm telling you, the show's awful. He's lifeless, he's dead. It's just like he's walking around. So he got some good shoes, nice shoes on, but he's walking around the stage. It's not a good performance by no stretch. You're making old heads look older. Most of the time, game, I'm gonna be honest, most old heads, they get up there, they want to go hard because they don't want to look old. Right? We go out our way to be because we don't want to look old up there. Especially if we take pride in the craft of performing. But J.E. on this particular show wasn't good. So therefore, he tried to do the Exhibit A, which is his biggest record, if I'm not mistaken. He tried to do Exhibit A as an acapella, no beat. He told him, I don't need the beat. Listen to my words. If you really F with me, you're going to listen to this with just my words. Right? I don't know if y'all understand that. Y'all remember that. But at the end of the day, the crowd started booing him. He jumped off the stage and was like, say it in my face. I want to see who booing. They some suckers. They pussy. This is what he said. He went around the crowd with the mic, rapping the joint with no beat. Mind you, most of these people came to see that record with the beat. He drunk off power in there talking about, I'm going to play, I'm going to do. I would be pissed if I went to see somebody, that's my favorite song, and you going to not play the beat and tell me to rap the verse? Mm-mm. Mm-mm. So, end of the day, that's where we end up. So that's the last Looney Tune thing that I saw J Electronica do, which that didn't set right with me. I'm like, it's all these people out here that respect this craft. They're trying to go out their way to do good shows. And Jay up here looking like Old Man River. Look uninspired and lazy. I'm just going to be honest. So end of the day, he's up there. Now they're booing him, right? So that goes viral. Every YouTuber has a comment. Everybody on Twitter got a comment. So now that is what it is. J.E., you know, he don't care. I told you, J.E. don't care. He got enough money to do what he want to do because Hove over here, Diddy over there, the Rothschild girl over there, he don't need no money, so he do this shit for fun. So now he on tour. The show's still rolling, still getting out these clips. What he do this time? He goes out and says, free Diddy. He just a little freaky. He said, they trying to lock my man down, but he just a little freaky. Right? Let me play the clip. I got the clip right here. I think I got it. Salute to Chilling with Moni because she the one that had it up. So this is the clip of J.E. And I'm gonna let you hear it. Let me know if you can hear it or if you can't hear it.
Free Puff, by the way. They tried to hang my dog on some bullshit just because the nigga like to get nasty. They tried to hit him with the book of words.
I'm gonna let it replay.
They tried to hang my dog on some bullshit.
Try to hang my
Just because
dog
a nigga like to get nasty, they tried to hit him with the book of words.
Just because he liked to get nasty.
Freak, by the way.
They try to hit with the
They tried to hang my dog on some bullshit. Just because a nigga like to get nasty, they tried to hit him with the book of words.
Yes.
Free Puff, by the way. They tried to hang bullshit. Just because a nigga like to get nasty, they tried to hit him with the book of words.
So y'all heard that. I'm sure y'all had to hear that.
Free Puff, by the way.
Get that out of here.
They tried to hang my dog.
Let me get that out of here. So I don't know if y'all can hear that. I hope y'all could, right? I don't know if y'all heard that or not. They want to hear the bang, 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 right? I don't know if y'all heard that or not, right? And he's been vocal about Diddy. The only thing I gotta remind J.E. is Diddy's more than just nasty. He's more than just freaky. Diddy done a lot of stuff to a lot of people, and Diddy is not going to have to pay for most of it because the prosecutor was overzealous, charged him with these big charges, then had to walk him back, take a lot of them off the table, hit him with 4 charges, 3 of them did not stick. Only one stuck, was the prostitution one, which they actively fighting now. And that prostitution one don't hold that much time. So he did a lot more if you really watch the documentary and take the accounts of the victims into play, right? And I know some people go, it gets tricky. They're like, yo, Cassie, da, da, da. I understand that, but at the end of the day, he beat that girl up savagely. There's a lot of questions about what happened to Kim Porter, this, that, and the third. So it's a lot of stuff that Diddy gotta be accountable for. So saying free Diddy right now is wild. But Jay Electronica used to sleep on Diddy's couch. So has a fondness, just like the game is fond of Drake because Drake looked out for him, allegedly gave him the free verse, and then came and shot the video allegedly with him, if I'm not mistaken. So he has a fondness. And Jay Electronica has the same fondness for Diddy. Diddy is more than just freaky. And I know people want to bottle it up to that and say, "Oh, he's just freaky. Leave him alone." Da da da. He's more than just freaky. There's a lot of stuff that Diddy got away with. I don't know if y'all know. They didn't say this in the documentary, and I don't know what to do with this information. But in the documentary, when they were talking about the party at the was it a college party? I forgot which school it was, but when you get into that party where the people died in that fire, right? That Diddy was put on that party that he over promoted, this, that, and the third. What they don't say in the documentary, and I don't know why, is that Diddy put the chains on them doors. And they told him, they said, this is dangerous. Don't put these chains on the door. And even Gene Deal was like, somebody gonna die in this thing. Because he chained the doors in because he didn't want nobody getting in for free and not paying. And he didn't have enough people to work all the doors. So he chained the doors. So then when they start trying to get out of there and crushing people, they couldn't get out the exits because he had chained the doors, allegedly. So it's stuff like that. He didn't change from that point. He became more and more greedy because he was allowed to get away with more and more stuff. Right? So end of the day, it ain't that he just freaky. Everybody he has ever signed got burnt in every kind of way possible. Diddy's accused of, if I'm not mistaken, drugging people. Diddy's accused of filming people that they don't even know they're being filmed. He's accused of threatening people. He's accused of getting people beat up. He's accused of sexually assaulting people. So it ain't just that he's freaky. He's accused and they had the poor boy, Kid Cudi out there puffing them cigarettes, went on that goddamn stand, and then they end up taking the charges off when he firebombed his car, burnt his car up. They had the witness, they had the evidence and everything. A lot of them witnesses went up there for nothing. Kid Cudi went up there for absolutely nothing. Who was it called him a snitch? Somebody called him a snitch. Was Lil Boozy, like two, three different people called Kid Cudi a snitch. How's he a snitch? He first of all, he's not no criminal. He talking about what happened to his car. Never got Diddy back for it. Diddy was an insane lunatic. Went around looking for Suge Knight with a gun. Allegedly put the hit on Pac. Now we all know how that went, right? They got the money, but they never passed it to the people that killed them. The money was sent allegedly. The money was sent, right? But the dude that he sent it to kept it. Opened up a nightclub, allegedly, right? So they end up hitting him, but they never got the payment. And I think that's why they got Keefe D in Las Vegas right now, trying to make him say that. Right? So he's not just freaky, he's diabolical. Every single person that signed to him wanted to get off of it. He giving out slave deals. It ain't even giving you slave pay. Craig Mack died penniless. Black Rob died penniless. Homeboy that's producing for him right now said he was producing for him for months in that they were in some hotel for months, never got $1. Remember that record came out and all of us old heads, be honest, you're gonna try to lie, but be honest. When he dropped that Love album, I'm gonna be a buck with you. I don't care what you think. A lot of us were saying, yo, that album crap. Because he took a lot of old school beats, and put a lot of good. He was nostalgia bombing. And we were like, yo, I don't fuck with Diddy, but this record pop, like this shit fire. All of us said that. A lot of old heads listen, if you listen to it in the first place. Let's just be honest. They came and bagged him up. Not right after that, all the accusations came out. But when he dropped that Love album, a lot of people was starting to like, yo, Diddy might be on to something. But that was Homeboy who didn't get paid. So everybody that deals with this guy gets burnt in every kind of way. If you leave out of there with your sexuality intact, allegedly. So no, he's not just a little freaky. This dude's a scoundrel. It's people afraid if he gets out. Afraid. And I was one of the people saying that I don't think that Karen, he might have got a Grammy for that Love album. Listen, the industry was on this guy. They was loving that Love album. And I used to be like, man, somebody talking about love. First of all, we all knew something was wrong with Diddy. And we moved, most of us elder statesmen, we moved away from Diddy. Let's just be honest. We moved away from Diddy a long time ago. That's why you had to drag us to that Love album. I had a lot of people telling me, yo, bro, I know you don't mess with Diddy. I know this. I know you don't mess with Diddy. But listen, play that Love album. Just try it. Just shut it out. And when it comes on, it's smooth, gang. Like you can ride to Jersey and this shit, like literally, yo, your fucking car feel like a Cadillac with plush red seats. That Love album was moving. So end of the day, it is what it is. But this guy wasn't paying that guy. All the people that rock with him, I don't even think Mary J want to rock with him. Got burnt everybody. All them people and everybody laughing at what's them guys that walk for the cheesecake. They walked to what's the name of that restaurant in New York? I went there. It was Justice. No, it's not Justice. What's a cheesecake restaurant in New York? It's in time. I went to see Lion King in New York, and we went and ate there. Shit was packed. It's where you go get. You had to walk to what's the name of that restaurant? What he made them walk there to get the cheesecake all the way across town. Them people got burnt. They was never for one thing. When you went back to Junior's Cheesecake, you had to watch Salute to Sam's in the building, making the band. Yep, the band. When you go and rewatch all that nonsense, right? That band from the conception of the show were supposed to get burnt. They were never going to get a deal, a real deal. They were never going to get money. They were never, the contract says it. They weren't getting anything. It was saying they was going to get something, but they weren't going to get nothing. Because he was going to sign you and then absorb that money into the signing. So all of them were broke. He went into that knowing he was going to burn them. This guy is diabolical. He finds new ways to burn you, gang. He finds ways to burn everyone. This is how he can stay so rich. I used to wonder, like 5-6 years ago, I'm like, this is more than 10 years ago. I would be like, Diddy don't have no artists. Did he really? I think he had like French Montana on a bubble, kind of like an artist. His son was one of his artists. One of the rap. What's his son? The one that rap. He was his artist. Which Cone? One of the Cone's boys was his artist. He didn't really have no artists. All the artists had got off the label. I'm like, it's really no bad boy music popping. And I know the old stuff still sells, but catalogs don't at the high level of what I see him spending and how famous. How does he keep so much money? Well, now we know he never gives it out to the people that's supposed to get it. May says everybody says he never pays. That's how. Burns every single person. But somehow J.E. got to sleep on his couch and got an affinity for him. So now you're talking about free Diddy. I don't think he sat down long enough. Diddy was making threats from the jail. They said Diddy called that girl from Danity Kane. She said he called her 100 times right before he was going to get arrested. And then when he went in there, he was reaching out from the jail. Didn't he get caught using other people's phone trying to threaten a witness? Wasn't that in the beginning of the tape? In the beginning of the case? He was witness tampering. I was one of the people on the other show, right? Day 26. I was one of the people on our The What show. We was talking about this. And they were like, Charles, do you think when Diddy come out, he gonna be changed? He gonna be different? And stupidly me, because I would be changed. I would be different. I'm like, yeah, I think Diddy, da-da-da. Diddy going, man, ain't nobody going, Diddy don't want to be in that box. I say he probably don't even know why he in there for real. He probably just like, why am I in, da-da-da. And he gonna figure it out. And he gonna realize, yo, I don't ever want to be here again. I lost satin sheets. I lost it all. I lost all my cameras, everything. I lost it all. Do you know what this fool did, gang? You know, this dude did two things that I realized, oh, he not ready. Don't let him out yet. He did two things. First thing, the first thing he did was allegedly, y'all can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, the dumbest shit I've ever seen anybody do. He booked a speaking engagement, allegedly. Now y'all can tell me if I'm wrong. For the day he thought he was getting out, he had booked a party and a speaking engagement down in like Miami. He hadn't been released. The judge hadn't said you're going home. Nothing. He thought that I'm going home and started booking shit. I said, oh, this nigga ain't ready. Because allegedly the judge saw that shit, was like, oh, guess what day it is? Because your ass staying in here. Arrogant shit. Wait till you get out to book anything. Okay? And the other dumb thing he did, I said, oh yeah, this nigga don't let him out. This nigga sent flowers to 50 Cent. 50 Cent was a show or something. He sent them some funeral flowers over the documentary. I was like, oh yeah, this nigga. Keep his ass. Give his ass another year. He learned nothing. He gonna come out and be worse. It's gonna be Halloween party. It's gonna be, and a lot of people want him out so they can start acting up. I was thinking people gonna keep their distance. I'm not so sure no more. I'm really not so sure. Because you got this guy talking about free him out. A lot of people saying free him. I don't even know what's going to happen, because if he's appealing and he's saying that the freak offs are protected by the Constitution, right? That's his new appeal. He doesn't have to abide by any laws, because he's not breaking any laws. I'll let you decide that this, that, and the third. It's a private affair. He's saying it's a private thing. I can record who I want. I can do what I want. This is my private property, and I need all my baby oil back. That's my baby oil. You seized it. Da da da. So I'm like, hold up. If he low-key get out, this dude might dead ass plan a freak off for when he really get out day one. And some people are insane. That shit might be lit. I'm just gonna be honest. Because there's a lot of people that don't want to be associated, but there's a lot of people that want all that just to be seen there. So I was like, Charles, you might be wrong. He might not be changed yet. Because I was like, yo, if I were to get out, I would dead ass, I would change, I wouldn't do this, that, and the third. I would keep a low. I was like, I'll keep a low-key profile for a year. I don't think he's gonna do that. I don't think he's gonna take a year. I think Diddy gonna get out and he gonna have the biggest. He might gang. Listen, listen. He might start monetizing that freak off shit because he's already charged. It's already over. He might start monetizing that shit some kind of way. He might turn that word into something. He could make shirts. He might start monetizing it. Because of shit that, like what Jay Electronica said, he's just a little freaky. So if it gets to that where he's just a little freaky, if that becomes the narrative, he might go on the road and start renting out whole hotels, charging you to come to the freak offs, and people will pay. His money fucked up, right? Spend a lot of money on the lawyer fees. He might start renting out spaces to do freak offs, gang. I'm just gonna be honest. And nothing happened to Young Miami, so she might be at the freak off. Much as we thought something was gonna happen, nothing happened. Y'all was a little overzealous. And they gonna lock her ass up too. Y'all was a little overzealous. She didn't get locked up. She's aiding the abetting. She facilitated it. Didn't she say she got the cocaine, the pink cocaine? She good. They didn't prosecute her. So she might be there. Gang, what's gonna be surreal is the video of that gate sliding out. Right, that gate when they let niggas out, when they got the little the paperwork and the clothes that they came in there, and they open the gate up and he walk out and female run to him. She might run to him. That's gonna be surreal. That's when you're gonna realize, yeah, the human race done. The human race cooked. When that video come out and it be all over Twitter of him getting let out and she running across the parking lot, that's when you're gonna realize we done. We done. We done here. Aliens coming, zap this shit. We cooked. Because after all that, he get out and celebrate, start buying, renting out shit, and now he back and the sons is back. Like, it's just, we cook. So end of the day, I'm gonna leave it at that, man. Jay Electronica, I think he just need to understand that it's not just that he's freaky. There's a lot of allegations, accusations that wasn't even touched on in the courtroom. There's a lot of people that were harmed. There's a lot of people that got hurt, and there's a lot of stuff that we saw in that documentary that still ain't got no answers to it. So it ain't just that, yo, he a little bit freaky. I think J.E. gotta kind of dial it back a little bit. All right, dial it back, gang. That's it. That's all I got, man. Listen, I know why they doing it. They loyal. But at the end of the day, they flawed. Their whole narratives are flawed. And that's all I can say, because what we got is guys that really, some of this stuff is attention seeking, right? It's attention grabbing, and they just want to be a part of the conversation. But some of it is misplaced loyalty. They got something done for them, this and that, or God forbid, these guys got their hands in the cookie jar and they on some tape somewhere. I'm gonna leave it at that, man. Listen, CLBMG, man. Listen, head on over to my guys right here, right? Head on over to black-yeti.com. Lock in with the homies over there. They good peoples. They ship all over the continental US. Head on over to black-yeti.com. And believe it or not, we still supposed to go live tonight on the What Show after all this nonsense I just did. So we're gonna see. I gotta see if Flair's coming or not. I don't know. But if you don't see the show, that means Flair's ain't making. And here we go. Tap in. I'm just gonna be honest. T-shirt, hit the QR code, scan that with your phone, lock in, join that movement. All right, tap in, show your boy some love. This is also, I also got the hoodie right here. You can use another phone and scan it. I'm just going to be honest, hoodie. I got a whole bunch of merch on that website. So it's hoodies, t-shirts, mugs, coffee cups, aprons, this, that, and the third. All right. The donate QR up there. That's just the Cash App. CLBMG Cash App. If you fuck with the show, it is what it is. All right, man. I'm about to get out of here. And like I said, Girly Jock keep telling me I cut the show off too soon because when I hit end stream, it don't end. It ends it too early. So what I'm going to start doing, I'm going to play the video on the way out. And what I'm going to play right now is going to be the one mic with me, TJ. It's called, I'm sorry, it's called the mic drop with me, TJ, and Fliz for this, that. I appreciate you guys watching and tapping in with me. All right. I'm out of here. I'm going to catch y'all on that flip side.
Yeah.
Peace.
Yeah.
And head grease.
I feel like I'm on a block right now. Fiends everywhere. Let's bring that back, yeah. This that crack sales and project hallways. Ducking 12, they got us boxed in 4 ways. This that get money and stack money. Grip tuck always. This that mama, not my child, please. I was a rose out the concrete, go-getter, slow money better than no money. Now it's studio, bad bitches and show money. In the hood they like you go, homie. They talk behind your back, shit they so phony. That Illville drip got it all on me. 4/5 Tucker like I got it all on me. Laugh, joke, smoke, no Chris Tucker, I Tucker.
And you know this.
Bad bitch on the side of me, rolling up the loudest so she can touch the sky with me. That spaceship lift off, I told her come fly with me. Moonwalking like a Michael. The mic like a machete, and I done went psycho. Bodies in the booth, I'm just spitting the truth. TJ Saws, I've been the truth. TJ Saws, I've been the truth. Been the truth.
Feel me on this one. Let's go. This that Bob Marley with the bomb Bobby from the damn Yachty. This that wake up groggy, turning Danny Phantom so they can't find me. This is that ghetto tour looking tour, I'm so shiny. A celebration when the family gets some dough finally. Poetic justice and hustlers up on some Malcolm shit. That being from the hood but ain't afraid to rise up out that bitch. Drums to leave your boulevard sprung. King of your kingdom, king of the dumb or king of the bums. Stick up Billy yelling, give me that. Saying you know what up, son. The pavement is a nightmare, depending on where you jump from. Scars, monkey bars, and hoopty cars will stretch the ego. Strawberry Tampico with Rico, avoiding that Rico. Or the Gujo, mi gente, we on it. Dominicanas with them BBLs, we tormenting them corners. That Malik got beef with Remy. Trey Doughboy, Ricky, that Kane and Old Dog. That Bishop still Raheem and Quincy.
And we'll still turn your ass to miss me. Ain't no hood against me. On this earth I walk Presley. This that focal point joint. This that pull and shoot point. This that bulletproof doink. You can't pierce it, just annoying. Let them piggies oink oink. I'm the Chuckster, good from here to Russia. West for the slightest move they bust ya, cause they don't trust ya. This that move to the dresser for them niggas pressure. And have you laying on the floor like a usher confessor. Yes sir, so mind your manners up in this place. When them cameras up in your face, you better check your voice for that bass and watch your mouth with all that tone. I got God protecting my home. I will burn your ass to your bones and sit your ashes next to my throne. I'm like Black Snake Moan. Come and get me. I leave something on your neck, it won't be no hickey.
It's that
police treat me nice like I'm Little Dicky.
It's that
the nerds rocking with me like I'm Bill Bixby.
It's that
me and my wife fight like Lucy and Ricky. And you can lose your whole life out here tricking for Linky. Don't